Welcome to today's video. This is where the real excitement begins, because we're starting strong with the number one coin on our list. This isn't just another collectible. It's not a silver dollar or a rare quarter. It's something far more unexpected. A small, copper coin that millions of people have overlooked for decades. Let's talk about the 1975 United States 1-cent penny. At a glance, it looks like nothing special. A tiny, reddish-brown disc we've all seen countless times. Something tossed into tip jars, change trays, and forgotten at the bottom of old coffee cans. But what if we told you that some of these coins have become hidden treasures? What if a simple penny from this specific year, with the right condition and characteristics, could be worth more than a brand new luxury car? The story of this coin begins in the mid-1970s. It was a time of economic transition in America. The country was recovering from financial pressure, inflation was high, and the cost of raw materials like copper was climbing fast. That made even the cheapest coin, the penny, expensive to produce. The U.S. Mint had already experimented with alternatives. In fact, in 1974, they struck a few test coins in aluminum to see if they could reduce costs. But those were never released to the public. So by 1975, they stuck with the traditional composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. That's the material behind the 1975 penny. But its value isn't just about what it's made of. The design plays a big role in its history. On the front, or obverse, you see the profile of Abraham Lincoln, facing right. He's been on the penny since 1909, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Above his head is the inscription "In God We Trust." To his left, the word liberty. To the right, the date 1975. If your coin has a small d under the date, it was struck at the Denver Mint. If it has an S, it's a proof coin from San Francisco. No letter at all means it came from Philadelphia. Flip the coin over and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a detailed and iconic structure that replaced the original wheat ears design in 1959. If you look closely at the center of the memorial on a proof coin, you can even spot a tiny image of Lincoln seated inside. Surrounding the memorial are the words United States of America, the Latin motto E pluribus unum, and at the bottom, 1 cent. Now here's the thing. In 1975, the U.S. Mint produced more than 9 billion pennies. That means this coin is not rare in the usual sense. You can still find them in pocket change and old coin jars. That sheer number makes it easy to assume the coin is worthless beyond its face value. But that's exactly what makes the valuable one so special. Among the billions, a few were struck under perfect conditions. A few avoided the scratches, wear, and discoloration of circulation. A few were preserved in near-flawless condition. These are the coins collectors chase. Condition is everything. A circulated penny from 1975, the kind that's been in and out of people's hands for years, is usually worth no more than a few cents. But if that same coin was never used, if it stayed in mint state, it could be worth dollars. And if it was graded MS67 or higher by a professional grading service, meaning it has no visible flaws under magnification and retains its original copper-red luster, its value starts climbing fast. There's also the proof coins. These were never intended for everyday use. Struck at the San Francisco Mint, proof coins were made for collectors and handled with extra care. They were struck multiple times with polished dies to bring out every detail. A 1975 proof penny in perfect condition is worth far more than its regular counterpart. And if it's been graded PR 69 or PR 70, that value becomes significant. Then there are the errors. Sometimes during minting, things go wrong. A coin might be struck off-center. The die might strike twice, causing a doubling effect on the letters or numbers. A planchet, the blank disc that becomes a coin, might be improperly cut. These errors are rare, and when they occur on a 1975 penny, they turn a common coin into a valuable collectible. Collectors will pay a premium for a unique mint error, especially one that's clearly visible and in good condition. So how do you know if your 1975 penny is valuable? It starts with a close inspection. Look at the date. Check for a mint mark. Examine the color. Copper pennies that remain bright red are far more desirable than those that have turned brown. Hold it up to the light. Look for sharp detail and clean edges. If something looks strange, like doubled letters or an unusual strike, you might be holding an error coin. The next step would be to have the coin professionally graded. Grading companies assign coins a score based on their condition, and that score can make all the difference in value. It's also worth noting that high-grade coins are not only rare, they're competitive. Collectors often pay thousands of dollars at auction for a penny that outshines the rest. And among all the 1975 pennies ever graded, only a very small number have reached the highest levels of preservation and appearance. These are the coins that make headlines. These are the ones that turn heads at coin shows. It's time to reveal the value. The most valuable known 1975 US 1-cent penny has been estimated to be worth as much as $77,000. Next up is a coin that proves not all mistakes are bad. In fact, some can be worth a small fortune. We're talking about a penny that came off the press with a surprising error, one that managed to slip past the eyes of the US Mint, survive circulation, and end up turning into a jackpot for collectors. It's the 1985 D. Lincoln penny, and it's anything but ordinary. At first glance, you'd think it's just another copper-plated zinc penny like millions of others from the 1980s. Abraham Lincoln still sits on the obverse, just as he has for over a century, facing right with his familiar calm expression. The reverse continues with the Lincoln Memorial, a design used for decades. The overall layout is the same, the size is the same, and nothing about it screams special. But hidden in the fine details of a small batch of these 1985 D coins is a flaw, an error that turned a common coin into an object of intense interest in the numismatic world. What makes this penny so different isn't its design or even its wear, but something far more subtle, the mint mark itself. Normally, the D mint mark, standing for the Denver Mint, is neatly punched into the die before striking the coin. But on the error versions of the 1985 D penny, the mint mark appears misshapen, misplaced, or even partially doubled. In some rare cases, it may appear to be missing entirely, or struck in an odd position. These variations weren't intentional. They were the result of mechanical issues or human error during the minting process. And while the mistake might seem small, in the world of coin collecting, these are exactly the kinds of anomalies that drive value. These rare minting errors are known as varieties, and the 1985 D penny has become one of the most desirable of them, thanks to a very specific type of flaw, particularly the misaligned mint mark and some examples with unusual die characteristics. Some even show faint doubling in areas like the lettering or date, adding to their appeal. Since the mint mark was still being applied by hand in 1985, variations like these weren't unheard of, but few coins survived in high-grade condition with these specific traits intact. Condition plays a huge role in value. Most 1985 D pennies, even with errors, are worth very little if they've been heavily circulated. But when an error coin is discovered in near mint or pristine condition, say, graded MS-67 or higher, it becomes a real treasure. These high-grade coins are rare simply because most pennies go straight into circulation and are exposed to years of handling, wear, and damage. Finding one that's not only an error but also essentially untouched is like winning the coin-collecting lottery. There's also another factor to consider, the metal. By 1982, the U.S. Mint had transitioned from making pennies primarily out of copper to copper-plated zinc. While both types exist for years around that transition, the 1985 D penny is expected to be made entirely of copper-plated zinc. Any deviation from that, say, a coin that appears heavier than normal or has a slightly different ring when dropped, could suggest something even more unusual, such as a wrong planchet error. A coin like that could command an even higher price. The thrill of discovering one of these coins isn't just for professional collectors. It could happen to anyone. That's what makes it so exciting. It could be in a jar of change, a forgotten roll of coins, or even right now sitting at the bottom of a drawer. People often underestimate coins from the 1980s, assuming they're all common and worthless. But this penny is a perfect reminder that even recent decades can produce rare and valuable finds. As more collectors focus on modern errors, demand for high-grade varieties like this one only continues to grow. And that rising demand is driving prices to new highs. This isn't just a quirky mint mistake anymore, it's a well-documented, high-value item in the eyes of serious numismatists. Some of these error coins have made appearances at major auctions, catching the attention of top-tier buyers. In those moments, a single penny becomes a showstopper. The crowd quiets. Bids rise. And the humble 1-cent coin is suddenly a headline maker. More than just a mistake, this coin represents a unique chapter in U.S. minting history. It's a combination of old techniques, transitional materials, and mechanical quirks, all frozen in one tiny object. That combination is what makes it so special. It connects collectors not just to a coin, but to a moment in time when every small error had a lasting impact. That kind of history doesn't just sit in books, sometimes, it sits in your pocket. Today, the most valuable known 1985 D. Lincoln penny, with its error clearly visible and its condition graded at the top of the scale, has reached a staggering price of $68,000. This is why coin collectors are always on the lookout. Because you never know when a small detail could turn a common coin into a rare prize. The 1985 D penny is a perfect example of how imperfection, in just the right way, can lead to something truly exceptional. Keep watching, the next coin on our list might surprise you even more. Now let's explore a coin that's not very old, not very flashy, and certainly not what most people would expect to find on a list of high-value rarities. It's a coin you've likely seen dozens of times, maybe even handed out as loose change at a store. But there's something about this one that sets it far apart from the rest. We're talking about the 2003 1-cent penny, a modern coin with an extraordinary twist. By 2003, the Lincoln cent had been in circulation for nearly a century, with its familiar design still going strong. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's portrait remains unchanged, calm, distinguished, and instantly recognizable. The reverse still carries the image of the Lincoln Memorial, cleanly framed with sharp lines and lettering. Nothing about the design itself screams rare or collectible. But once again, it's not the artwork that makes this coin so valuable. It's the anomaly hiding behind what should have been a routine minting process. This particular penny, dated 2003, became a standout due to a very specific kind of mint error. While billions of pennies were struck that year, a tiny handful came out of the U.S. Mint with flaws so rare that collectors took notice almost immediately. These weren't just simple scratches or mild off-center strikes. These were full-blown mechanical mishaps, the kind that cause a coin to be dramatically misaligned, double-struck, or even struck on the wrong type of metal altogether. In a world where machines are expected to work with precision, any deviation becomes a point of fascination. The errors found on some 2003 pennies are extreme examples of that. One known variant was struck on a foreign planchet, meaning it was mistakenly minted on a blank intended for another country's coin. Another version was dramatically off-center, with large portions of the design missing or shifted entirely away from the center. There are also instances of coins struck with what's called a blockage, where the reverse image is stamped backward due to a coin being stuck in the press. These are not everyday errors. These are once-in-a-million minting accidents. And what makes these mistakes so valuable isn't just how unusual they are, but how well preserved the coin is despite them. Most coins with such significant errors are still handled like pocket change. They get scratched, worn down, and tossed into circulation unnoticed. But when one of these coins is pulled from circulation early, kept safe, and eventually graded in near-mint condition, that's when the value skyrockets. Collectors aren't just paying for the coin. They're paying for a story. A story of how a mistake slipped through layers of quality control, traveled through the economy, and somehow landed in the hands of someone who noticed something wasn't quite right. It's a story of rarity, preservation, and sharp eyes. And that story adds more than just historical value, it adds real monetary worth. It's also important to mention how rare it is to find such modern coins reaching high values. Most people associate valuable pennies with early 20th century dates, wheatbacks, or wartime compositions. But a 2003 penny breaking into the ranks of high-value collectibles reminds us that it's not always about age. Sometimes, it's about timing, luck, and a perfect storm of minting missteps. This coin has also sparked more interest in modern-day errors. It's inspired both new and experienced collectors to take a second look at their change jars and coin rolls. What used to be overlooked is now being examined more carefully. And with each new discovery, the excitement around coins like the 2003 era penny only grows stronger. Another important factor in its rising value is grading. When a rare era coin is submitted to a top-tier grading service and receives a high grade like MS67 or MS68, it becomes more than just a curiosity, it becomes a certified investment. A coin that's not only unique in how it was made, but also flawless in how it was preserved. That combination is what drives serious bidding at auctions. Collectors are always chasing the next great find, and when it comes to the 2003 penny, they know the odds are slim, but not impossible. And that possibility is enough to fuel the hunt. It's this thrill of the unknown, the hope of stumbling across a treasure in the most ordinary place, that keeps the world of coin collecting alive and full of surprises. So how valuable can a single 2003 penny really be? The most impressive example discovered so far, with a rare mint error, graded in pristine condition, and authenticated by experts, has been valued at $36,000. A 1-cent coin, worth more than many people's cars. That's the power of the unexpected. The 2003 penny proves that even in an era of mass production, mistakes still happen, and when they do, they can turn a common object into a collector's dream. And just like that, a small copper-colored coin from the early 2000s joins the ranks of the most surprising high-value collectibles. This coin serves as a reminder that rarity can be found anywhere, even in the most ordinary places. Keep watching, because the next coin on our list just might be hiding in plain sight too. The next coin on our list may seem like something you'd find in everyday change, but it holds a secret that has caught the attention of collectors everywhere. It's the 2016 Lincoln Memorial Penny, a modern piece with an unexpected twist that turns a simple 1-cent coin into a rare treasure. At first glance, this penny looks just like thousands of others minted in 2016. Abraham Lincoln's profile dominates the front, while the iconic Lincoln Memorial graces the back. The design is familiar, the size and color standard, and the coin's everyday nature almost makes it easy to overlook. But within this seemingly ordinary penny lies a fascinating minting error that has made it highly sought after by collectors and numismatists alike. This error isn't about the usual minor flaws or scratches. It's about a striking anomaly in the die's execution, a double die error. During the minting process, the die that impresses the coin's image onto the metal planchet accidentally struck it twice, but with a slight misalignment between the two strikes. The result is a visible doubling of key features on the coin, including parts of the date, the lettering, and especially the details on the reverse side. On the 2016 penny, the doubling is most apparent on the words, 1 cent, and United States of America, where the letters appear thicker, shadowed, or even split, giving the coin an unusual and eye-catching appearance. What makes this double die error so captivating is not just its visibility, but its rarity. Not every penny minted in 2016 carries this flaw. Only a very limited batch of coins came off the presses with this doubling, making them immediately valuable and highly sought after in the collector's market. Because these coins were intended for circulation, many were quickly lost, worn down, or damaged, which makes finding one in pristine or near-mint condition even more special. The Lincoln Memorial Penny has been a symbol of American history and resilience since its introduction in 1959, honoring one of the nation's most beloved presidents. Discovering an error on such an iconic design adds a layer of mystique and excitement to an already historic coin. This double die error serves as a fascinating reminder that even in today's advanced, high-tech minting environment, with its strict quality control measures, human or mechanical mistakes can still occur. And when they do, those mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into a rare collectible. Collectors and enthusiasts today are increasingly drawn to these kinds of modern minting errors, especially from recent years when coins are still readily available in circulation but have the potential to be rare finds. The 2016 double-die Lincoln penny has sparked a new wave of interest in looking closely at everyday change, encouraging collectors to examine coins more carefully and appreciate the unexpected details that might otherwise go unnoticed. Grading also plays a crucial role in determining the value of this coin. Coins that exhibit a clear double-die error and also maintain high grades, such as MS65 or higher, attract the most serious attention and command premium prices. The combination of rarity, condition, and the striking double-die effect is what makes this penny a true numismatic treasure. It's not just about the error, it's about how well that error has survived the test of time. Beyond just collectors, this coin has captured the imagination of anyone who appreciates the beauty of imperfection and the thrill of discovery. It's a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, sometimes the smallest and most overlooked details can create the biggest surprises. Even a 1-cent coin can tell a powerful story when it carries a rare minting error. The 2016 double-die Lincoln penny has also gained traction in auctions and private sales, where bidding wars highlight just how much collectors are willing to pay for this unique piece of history. The demand continues to grow as more people learn about the coin and begin hunting for their own examples. This rising interest has helped push the value of the coin steadily upward. A humble penny transformed by a rare minting flaw, proving once again that sometimes, the most ordinary coins can hold extraordinary value. This coin perfectly rounds out our list of today's most remarkable pennies, each one telling its own unique story and commanding astonishing worth. If you thought modern coins couldn't be exciting or valuable, this 2016 penny stands as proof to the contrary. It encourages everyone to take a closer look at the coins they handle every day because the next great discovery could be hiding in plain sight. If you come across a 2016 Lincoln Memorial penny that shows signs of this double-die error, it's worth taking a closer look and having it professionally evaluated. Even if it looks like just another penny at first, that subtle doubling on the lettering or date could mean you're holding a rare piece with significant value. Don't overlook the possibility, it might be tucked away unnoticed in your change, waiting to surprise you with its hidden worth. Thanks so much for watching and spending time with us today. If you enjoyed learning about these incredible coins and want to see more fascinating stories and rare finds, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and give this video a like. We'd also love for you to share it with your friends and drop a comment below to let us know what you think. Your support truly means the world to us and helps keep this channel growing so we can bring you even more amazing content. Stay curious, keep collecting, and we'll see you in the next video.